I have a car that I love. I want to wash it safely. Do you think I'm in the right place?
You sure are. Hi, I'm Ivan.
I'm Nick.
This is DIY Detail. We have a beautiful 2015 Lexus here. It's shiny, it's glossy. We want to wash it, we want to decontaminate it because we're going to make glossy glossier.
The owner loves this car so much, explained it to me that sitting in the driver's seat is like sitting in a baseball glove. You just feel nice and snug in there. They have great affection for this ride. The shine is already off the charts.
Right.
We are going to be good caretakers with a wash and a decontamination in this video. We're going to be polishing it, ceramic coating it in another video. But Ivan, what should someone know about how to safely wash their car?
First of all, pre-treat the car. That is a very important thing. It looks perfectly clean already, but if you look up close, there's dust, there's a few little water spots here and there. There are things on the paint that aren't perfect, and we want to make it look even better. The front end is just covered in bugs. The mirrors have bugs on them, the windshield as well. So we want to pre-treat to get all of that stuff safely off the paint before we start touching it with our wash media.
So first comes our chemical in the foam, rinse, foam process.
Right.
That chemical is Incredible Suds.
Incredible Suds, we got about 24 ounces in here of water and maybe an ounce of Incredible Suds. I'm not the one who mixed it up, so I can't verify that. But at the same time, this vehicle is well maintained and well taken care of. The wheels, we don't even need anything special for the wheels. The Incredible Suds will do what we need it to do on the wheels. Now, we let it dwell.
I have an Incredible Suds not only looks stunning on the paint as you foam it on, it also smells nice too.
Yep.
If folks can't smell it and they're looking at our studio and thinking, that's so much different than my setup, I feel so distant from this perfect garage, I'm out in the sunlight. What do you want them to know about direct sunlight with Incredible Suds?
It's the same thing, especially this pre-foaming stage. You don't have to worry about it. And if it does dry in the sun, it's not that big of a deal.
Do they need to rinse it off pretty quickly?
No, it'll just rinse away.
Okay.
It can dry and rinse off. So not a stressful thing. And now, speaking of rinsing off, it's that time.
Usually you have to use agitation to remove bug guts, but if it's protected paint or if it's been there just for a little while, just Incredible Suds and the pressure washer, and they just blast right off.
They all came off, yeah. Where it's not that big of a deal. You know, you don't need a special chemical to remove bugs. So, time to foam again.
The foam, rinse, foam.
Yes.
The rinse sandwich. Okay, Ivan, question for you.
Yep.
Same solution and same dilution for both foams.
Yes.
Are they accomplishing the same task for both foams?
Not the same necessary task. So the first foaming is to get any grit, break down those bug guts, start breaking down the traffic film. The second foaming is to provide lubrication for our wash media and to continue breaking down that traffic film.
So is lubrication the main reason we foam against,
yes,
or is it also cleaning power?
Both, but lubrication being the biggest one of the two. Use up the remainder of my soap in the foam cannon.
When you use Incredible Suds, you're committing to a little more water, a little more time, but you're also committing to a little more fun. Foam is fun, folks, and if you agree, leave it in the comments below. When you see the suds, when you see the bubbles, there's something in the human mind that says it's cleaning better. Now, Ivan, you could probably weigh in on whether that's true or not, but perception can be reality, Ivan.
Yeah, better no, but cleaning definitely, and fun, of course. Cleaning the wheels, we'll let the Incredible Suds continue to work on that traffic film that's on the surface. I like to start at midnight or high noon, depending on what time of the day it is, and work my way around the wheel. Doing, of course, the faces first. That way, they're clean. I don't need to brush them again. As I go into the wheel with the barrel brush, I'm not bringing out any potential grit in the barrel to the face. Like we said, this is a very well-maintained vehicle, so I'm not expecting much inside the barrels. And I'm not disappointed. We actually do our best to find dirty cars for the channel. It's incredibly difficult to actually find dirty cars, you know.
Ivan, you love multiple spoke wheels, don't you?
Oh yeah, as long as they're not more than 5 spokes, we're good. Nick, I just bought a car with 3 spokes, so gives you an idea. We have to say the wheels do look great, but they're not a wheel I would want to own and wash on a regular basis. The one thing is when you have lots of spokes like this, you don't see the barrels too much.
What are wheel barrels, Ivan?
The part that never gets washed in a car wash. The inside of the wheel.
Do they need to be cleaned?
Need? No. Should they? Yes. As much as I love the perfectly safe brush with rinseless, it's a little more fun with foam.
You think the owner is going to be okay with you washing his car with a brush, Ivan?
The owner of this vehicle is okay with us doing what we want with this vehicle because we've done one of their vehicles before, so they know we would never do anything to harm a vehicle.
It's like the Hippocratic Oath with doctors, do no harm.
Yeah.
Is Ivan's motto with the vehicle.
Every car deserves our respect. Every car deserves us to do the best we can for it. And every car that comes into the shop, we treat as if it's our own. You can see with the perfectly safe brush just how much liquid it carries with it, helping that cleaning process. The other thing that the perfectly safe brush does is help you move your bucket along.
Boy, it sure does feel nice, that incredible sud slickness under the incredible wash mitt.
Yeah.
A match made in heaven.
It's almost as if they were designed to work with each other, Nick. Sort of happens in this world.
Do you recommend doing lower panels last?
Depends on the vehicle. This vehicle is not a necessity because it's so well taken care of. But if it's a vehicle that's been abused and not washed in months, then yes, that's a wise thing to do. The other strong point of the perfectly safe brush is these very intricate grills.
Now for some people, we would rinse this off, we would dry, and we would be done. But the deep clean is not over yet, Ivan.
Right, if we're just doing a wash, that would be it. But we're doing more than a wash with this vehicle. We're gonna be ceramic coating it. To ceramic coat a vehicle, you want to prep it, you want to make sure it's as clean as it possibly can, and that is the goal of our friend, the quad fold towel. Now I'm going to be using iron remover as lubrication, additional lubrication, and also there might be iron particles on this vehicle. Now there probably is, because it is driven in the real world, and there's brake dust, there's all sorts of things that can contaminate paint. So one spray on the towel, one on the panel, match them up. We feel just a little bit of minute amount, not much.
If you feel or hear contamination, you're tempted to put pressure on it, right? If you drive your hand into something, you might dislodge it quickly. The one thing we want to tell you is do not use pressure with this towel. There's a reason, Ivan, it's the quad fold towel.
Right, 4 sides. I used one side on the hood, I flipped to the other side, or quadrant. One spray on the towel, one on the panel. The other reason we want you to fold it in is for that thickness. We want you to have that luxurious thickness that will prevent you from making pressure points.
New panel, new side of the towel. It's pretty easy, right?
It sure is.
Or would you say it's complicated and impossible?
Anyone can do it. After you've done 4 panels, take your towel, in your wash bucket, out it comes, you're ready to do the next panel.
Do I have to overthink what's happening when I'm dunking it back in? Unfold the towel, leave the towel folded, leave it in for more dwell time? Like, what's going on there?
As soon as you flood the towel with the solution in your wash bucket, it's releasing all of those contaminants that is plucked off the paint.
Incredible Suds and iron remover, they're two different chemicals. We often tell people, don't play armchair chemist, don't combine chemicals. Can they do this?
Definitely. We've designed it that way. Now, not all iron removers will allow you to do this, but ours definitely does.
One thing that folks may run into is they're Incredible Suds, or let's say they use rinseless wash in this method. You can do chemical, rinse chemical, and you can do this with a rinseless wash as well. It might be drying up on the surface, and you might be tempted to use iron remover on a dry surface to give yourself more lube. Is that the move?
No, you're best to add a little more Incredible Suds. Now, in your case, Nick, you've got the wash mitt over there. We've gone fast enough that we don't have to worry about it. But if Nick wanted to, he could just take his wash mitt, flood the surface with the wash mitt.
Just like this.
Keep going.
And all of a sudden, boom, one on the towel, one on the paint. We have all that fresh Incredible Suds there providing lubrication, and it is silky smooth. Which is what we want. We want the lubrication. We want the safety built into this system. Because when we don't have lubrication and we have pressure and whoopsies happen, that's when we drive uneven pressure through our towel, through our media, into the paint. You could potentially scratch the paint. We don't want to scratch paint. We want to do no harm, Ivan.
Exactly. We do our best to leave every vehicle better than how we found it. Whether it's a basic wash or a full-on polish, ceramic coating. You mentioned overthinking, Nick. One thing that people overthink a little bit is thinking that this is going to scratch the paint. It's designed not to. It's taking the contaminants off. Your contaminants are so small on the paint that you can't see them and you can't feel them without some form of help. That is taking those off, releasing them into the bucket safely, and keeping your paint nice and glossy and slick. Good to rinse, Nick?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, folks may wonder, what do we do next? We rinse, we're done?
We're not done. We're rinsing, yes. But contamination, there is one form of contamination that we don't see, we don't hear. I've never tasted a car, so I can't tell you if we taste it. But that is mineral contamination. And mineral contamination is sort of the hidden killer of anything beating. Your vehicle just won't be the same when it has mineral contamination. We're gonna be polishing this. You think, well, polishing will take the minerals off. No, polishing actually drives them deeper into the paint. Not a good idea. After having what seems like a fleet of crossovers and SUVs in the shop, it's nice to have a car that's low. The next and final decontamination step, water spot remover.
Now, I didn't notice any water spots on here, Ivan.
There was a couple on this door,
Okay.
but we still use it as a mineral cleanse to take the minerals off the surface that are preventing the beading. So we can see the effect immediately that the water spot remover has on the surface.
We're in our controlled shop here. You went for the whole thing. It's a humid day. We know it's not gonna dry up on us.
Right.
If you're outside, would you do a section of the car, half the car? How would you do water spot remover?
I do half the car at a time.
And then rinse off,
Yep,
and then the other half.
right. But if it dries on the surface, like most of our chemicals, actually not a big deal.
Okay, so I've got a rinseless wash dampened towel. I'm trying to wring it out for you because I know you don't like towels dripping, do you?
No, because they should be dampened, not wet.
So you want this basically dampened, and
Right.
if you've got Incredible Suds in your wash bucket, you can do it in there.
Yeah.
If you had a rinseless wash, you could do it in there.
Right. We just happen to take these out of a bucket of rinseless wash, but Incredible Suds would have done the job. And When you think you've wrung it out enough, wring it out again.
The reason being?
We don't want to absorb the water spot remover off the surface. We want to distribute the water spot remover on the surface and agitate it lightly.
So a level 1 coating towel is great for this?
Yeah. We resist the urge to flip the towel because we know that it's clean. We've gone over the surface twice with incredible suds. We've brushed it or sponged it or mitted it. Then we use the decontamination towel with iron remover. There's no grit left on this surface, so we're not worried about that. We're just here to spread the water spot remover on the paint, on the glass, on the trim, you name it, it gets it.
If you miss a spot with your towel, but you got it with the fan of product, would that be okay?
It's okay, but you want to get everywhere, and it's easy to tell where you've been and where you haven't been.
Show them an example, Evan.
It's extremely visual. You can see where I've been. Just by how the water behavior is on the surface. Because it looks almost as if we've dried the vehicle at this point. But the surface is actually quite still wet. It's just the water spot remover is sitting there doing its magic on the surface. When we're done with the water spot remover towel, we do not put it back in our wash bucket if we intend to use the wash bucket again. Also, don't put it in there if you have any other form of wash media in there. The lactic acid in the water spot remover can damage those surfaces. We have a separate bucket just for these towels. If not, rinse them out with clear water, then you're good to go.
You don't want to use water spot remover with your legacy sponge. You don't want to use water spot remover as a decontamination towel lubricant. As Ivan said, best kept separated. Once it's soaking in there though, you can add it into your laundry bundle and you're good to go at that point. They can be washed together, right?
Exactly.
Of course, you don't wash our decon towel or the legacy sponge in the washer, but
No.
your other towels can go in with your water spot remover towels, no problem.
Definitely. Now, time to rinse again.
What is that, Ivan?
Quick beads. Your wheel's best friend.
Tell me more.
The quick beads acts as a drying aid, but at the same time, we're putting a bit of ceramic protection onto and into these wheels, making them easier to clean the next time. The other place where quick beads is very important is grills like this. By far the best way of protecting these. We're going to be ceramic coating this vehicle, so I don't want to get quick beads on the rest of the body, but definitely on that grill and on these wheels. It's a nice thing to have.
I almost grabbed Envy ceramic sealant because this is the time of the detail where after a nice decon, it's time to spray that beautiful liquid on the surface.
Right.
It gives you lubricant, protectant, gloss enhancer. But we're going to be polishing this so we don't use anything at this point.
No, we don't use any form of drying aid. Now, if you need to use a drying aid, let's say after the water spot treatment that the water was still sitting there flat, and that happens on some vehicles. That is when you would use rinseless wash as your drying aid before doing a ceramic coating, because it leaves nothing on the surface.
And as we're washing and drying now, I'm thinking, okay, we have two people, we make it look easy on the internet. How long ought one take if one were solo? Like what would this take in terms of time?
I like to budget an hour.
For a car wash?
Yeah, for a wash and decon like this.
How about just a regular wash at home?
Half an hour?
It certainly helps if everything is set up, right?
Right.
Ready to go?
Yeah, it depends how organized you are. The organization has more to do with it than the actual job itself.
Because if you're not set up, it'll take you a half an hour just to get all your tools out and your pressure washer and your buckets, and that's what organization and efficiency can bring to your whole operation, whether you're a pro or just an enthusiast at home.
Yeah.
How can they get more organized and ready to go, Ivan?
The simplest way of doing that, Nick, is to take out your camera and video yourself doing the job, and then watch it. And you will see exactly where time is being stolen from you.
Well, and I would add, since I've been doing that recently, start early. So actually video your setup, not just your wash.
Yeah, no.
Okay, I went here and then I filled up the bucket and then I went back to the place where everything's stored and I only had, like, you'll see the inefficiencies in the setup too and be like, how could I have saved my footsteps and my trips?
Right.
And so yeah, Ivan's right, do film yourself.
And having everything set up on a cart or something like that, ready to go, simplifies life dramatically. Also, stop overthinking it. No, but seriously, some people have way too many products.
Yeah.
Just use the products that you need. There's some mobile detailers, they have a van or they have a pickup truck. They have so many products in there that they'll never use, or they might use once a year. Just carry what you need. You know what the job is going to be that day.
One thing you told me is you're going to do one car today, Nick. Why did you bring gallons, right? And it was just a simple comment of like, I could have had 16-ounce bottles in my vehicle instead of the gallons.
Right.
And that's another example of just, you may have the chemical as a just-in-case chemical, but did you need the whole gallon or could you have just carried a bottle?
Right. Just like most things in life, less is more.
A just-in-case chemical might be one of our products called tree sap remover.
Right.
It's a great solvent. It can work on tar, it can work on tree sap. You probably aren't going to need it on the job, but if you do, it's nice to have.
Right, but again, you'll never use a gallon on a car.
Exactly. No, it's a perfect example.
A lot of very interesting angles on this vehicle.
Well, I was thinking it would drip for a while, so why don't we just blow dry this first with a leaf blower and then dry with a towel?
Yeah. When you're blow drying with the leaf blower first, what you're doing is not only moving some of that water off the surface, but you're also evaporating some of that water on the surface. We have very high total dissolved solvents in the water here, so we would be putting minerals back on the surface.
I think a lot of people are scared of drying with a towel because they think that's going to scratch the paint, so they want to grab the air mover or the leaf blower or the air compressor. And
Right.
they're convinced, because they got a coated car even or a protected car, they watch the water beads just evacuate from the surface. That's the safest way to do it.
Right. No. Basically, we have very high quality, 100% Korean microfiber towels. They're as safe can be. Now, Nick used a very big drying blanket, which is a great towel, by the way. And I used two of our little twist towels. We both ended up with a dry vehicle.
Are you telling me there's multiple ways to detail a car, to dry a car, to wash a car?
100%. And a lot of people don't realize this, but there's no right way to detail a car.
We did the foam rinse foam. If you want to learn another method, as I alluded to, it's called the hybrid method. Ivan, do you know where they could learn more information about that?
Probably right here.